Alright guys, another reading for Gaza with my dog Pepper here. Hey Pepper. So today we're reading Child of the Moon. I haven't read this one since I was a very little kid, so here's the cover illustration. Oh wow, this is a signed copy and it's to me and my sister. I must have been a year old, 2002. Cool. Yeah, it's by Jeanne Crowder and Krista Otto. I'm going to turn this down a little. The artist is Ariel Corine. You'll have to tell me how to pronounce that. I'll tag you in this video. But yeah, I really love their music, so I'll be posting a lot of things with it, if that's okay. I'm sure it will be. Anyway, when you read, you should always try to learn about the author and their background so that you can try to understand what they're saying. Also, I have this nice campfire going. Oh, you can't see it. I think you can see it. So I might leave to tend that in a minute or so. But, sorry. There we go. Alright, so this book is dedicated to my precious godchild, Ruth Joanne Manthe. My father taught me that life is never separate from the land. This profound message continues to shape me, reminding me to honor the wisdom of creation. It is from my father that I also learned the power of storytelling, the oral tradition of passing on values from one generation to the next. Child of the Moon creates opportunities for essential storytelling between adult and child. It has been written to help pass on to our children the sacredness of life and our intimate connection with the earth, the sky, and the circle of life where all are blessed. Child of the Moon also introduces children to the language of symbolism by revealing strengths and key behaviors of the nature characters that befriend the reader throughout the book. To help illuminate the full potential of this book, I've included a glossary of animal symbols for the young reader. Ooh, I might need to go inside to get some water, but we'll see. In my notes from the author, the deeper meaning of the text is explored and assistance is provided in storytelling and the use of symbols. This story is unique in that it never really ends. Like nature, it is cyclical, encouraging rereading and reinterpretation. Okay, so listen to this video many times and like and subscribe and comment. I invite you and the children you love to embark on this journey of self-discovery, sharing what is most meaningful in the ever-evolving stories of your lives. Here's this little illustration on it. When all the world is sound asleep, the moon begins to rise. This reminds me of the deer I saw on a walk today. He watches over your night dreams and lights the blackened skies. He rocks the oceans back and forth like grandma's wooden chair and tumbles you into sleep's embrace while I hold you near. We'll carry the moon across the skies and put it to sleep in your sweet eyes. The darkness and dreams won't frighten you, my child of the moon, my child of the moon. What a beautiful illustration. Creation sings for the rising sun as she climbs the sky into day. A ball of fire and warmth and fun to umbrella your summer play. Each year, her seasons will teach you more of the mystery she knows. When the light and warmth seem lost, she's dancing in the shadows. So whenever you guys feel like the light in your life, or whenever you're feeling down, try to look towards the moon or look towards light, because it's there. You have family, you have me, you have a whole community out there that want to help you. On the days she hides in the clouds above, just look in the faces of those you love. It's there you'll find the shining sun, my child, darling one, my child of the sun. Ah. In the soft black earth, each seed is blessed and told the story of life, the secret of the redwood forest, the wonder of tonight. So if you don't know, the redwood forest, I'm going to take this off. The redwood forest is a forest in California that I believe the tallest tree in the world is there. Might be wrong about that, but really strong, tall trees. If you play Call of Duty, there's a map in Black Ops 3 called Redwood. If you don't play Call of Duty, then talk to your parents and see if they let you get it. Anyway, can't remember if I showed you this. But look, the tree is alive, like Lord of the Rings. Each of us is given a garden to plant, to water, and weed. Your song and your smile, your magic and dreams are the sun and the growing seed. You are my garden, my joy and delight. I give you the sun and moon tonight. But it's Mother Earth who knows your song. I'll be here to sing along, my child of the earth. My child, my precious one. All right, so here's the glossary of animals that were in there. Let's read them together. So how many places in this book can you find these animals in? So you can rewatch the video, try to find them, or you could buy the book yourself and look through them, have a parent read them to you. Bats fly at night using sound waves to see, with their ears rather than their eyes. Deer sprint at great speed, leaping and jumping gracefully as they go. And I saw a deer today on my walk. Eagles fly higher than any other bird and can see 8 times farther than humans. Bees can carry 300 times their own weight. Dragonflies reflect and scatter the light of the sun in order to shine with bright rainbow colors. I'm going to turn the music up a bit because this is a vibe. Fish lay many eggs, giving their life to new fish. They swim in groups called schools. I need that. Butterflies can taste the sweetness of the flowers to their front feet. Oh man, imagine if we could taste our feet. We'd be tasting shoes the whole time. Ducks use their own body oil to waterproof their feathers. This keeps them dry when in the water. Foxes are good at blending into their environment. In the winter, some even turn white to match the snow. Frogs have loud croaking voices. They breathe through their skin as well as with their lungs. Rabbits can hold very still, yet they can also move with great speed. Squirrels are hard workers, gathering nuts for the winter. However, they also take time to play with their friends. Yeah, I saw 2 squirrels playing and someone else is watching and they gave me directions somewhere, so to McAllister actually. Moose can hold their breath for over a minute and eat grass from the bottom of a lake. Seals spend most of their time playing in the water. They come to dry land and to rest and to have pups. I need to tend to the fire. I'll finish this real quick. Turtles bury their eggs in the sand. When they are born, turtles have only Mother Earth to care for them. Owls can see in the dark. They clean their eyes with a third eyelid that moves from side to side. Spiders spin their web by making their strong silk thread which hardens in the air. Wolves are very loving. They like to lick one another as a way of showing friendship. Alright, so I'm going to tend to the fire and then we'll finish with some notes from the author. But, you know, this is exactly what the book... Here, let's see. Let's see if I can turn these embers into a flame. Can you guys see me? Might need to use some help with good old lighter fluid, but might not either. Oh, there we go. See? Just a little bit of effort. Now we gotta don't want to douse it out. Stay alive. Stay alive. See how we did that? Just a little bit of light for life. Oh, I love this song. Gotta get rid of some of the dead stuff. This is also why you should always make sure you completely put out a fire. Because if you leave embers, it can go up in flames. Candles, what about a campfire? Now you wanna, for making a fire, there's tinder, which is the smallest stuff. You can remember either the app tinder, lighting a spark between people, or just tinder is tiny. And then you have kindling, which is like middle stuff, so average size sticks. And then you have, honestly I forgot what it's called, but then you have big fuel, like the big logs, something like this, that keeps the fire going for a long time. So, now I was a Boy Scout. I was taught the fire should never go taller than the lower scout's waist. Always be with your parents, but just a few more sticks and then I think we're good for now. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah, so notes from the author. It's important to, there we go. It's important to read this because sometimes you make assumptions of what the author is trying to say, but to improve your media literacy, which pretty much just means understanding the story that's being told, you need to know where the author is coming from. And then you can have your interpretation about what they maybe subconsciously did, because there may be subconscious symbols that they didn't think of. But yeah, anyway. Oh, some more of animals. Seals. Seals are most at home in water. In many cultures, water is a symbol of the inner life, the very source of our creativity. Although seals spend much of their time in the water, they come to dry land to rest and to bear their young. Seals call us into our inner waters to play with our creative energy, yet show us the value of balancing creativity with grounded productivity. Rabbits are very, very prolific, making themselves symbols of fertility. Escaping their predators with great speed and dexterity, rabbits move ahead by leaps and hops. Rabbits teach us to make our lives more fertile by taking risks in order to quickly propel ourselves forward. Wolves epitomize the wild spirit, yet do not use aggression unnecessarily. That is so true. There's this whole alpha male culture, and they think that means fighting. But if you look at a wolf, or wolf tribes, or packs, wolf packs, they don't fight each other really. They have they mark their territory and then they respect those boundaries. So to be an alpha male means respecting boundaries. Anyway, With a glance, a growl, a body gesture, they make deep emotional attachments by mating with one partner for life and show much affection for other pack members, especially the pups. Wolves are a symbol of strength through love, communication, loyalty, and integrity. Notes from the author: Children and storytelling. Indigenous cultures have long understood the power of story. Since ancient times, the oral tradition of storytelling has been used to hand down values and traditions from one generation to the next. These values hold keys to discovering identity and finding meaning in the daily rhythms of life. The primary storytellers of our time, however, are found in the media and funded by large corporations. Now, this was written in 2001. It's gotten even worse now. Our children are taught at a young age that consumerism and accumulation are the ways to happiness. Child of the Moon suggests a very different value system, helping the adult reclaim the role of primary storyteller. It is a tale of a child experiencing the rhythms of life under the guidance and wisdom of creation, with the adult as the interpreter. Child of the Moon draws on nature symbols which, on a deeper level, reveal ways in which a more authentic and joyful life may be experienced. Children and storyteller are empowered by intimately connecting with the circle of life, where all is sacred. Here we are called to honor the mystery of change by embracing the gifts of each season of life and to accept responsibility for living up to our potential. Child of the Moon has been written as much for you, the storyteller, as it is for the listener, for it raises questions and points to ageless mysteries. Serving as a catalyst for dialogue between child and adult. Wow, it's like the music is connecting to what we're saying. Child and adult. Parents will always be there for you. Anyway, although this is an exceptional book for children to experience on their own, it uniquely blossoms under the guidance of adult presence. Even though many of the values inherent in the text and imagery of this book are consistent with those taught by most world religions, there's no direct religiosity to Child of the Moon. However, reflecting upon that which creates purpose in life is an effective way to develop a personal spirituality, enhancing any chosen faith tradition. The power of symbols. A symbol is an image that links us to deeper thoughts, values, or beliefs. A wealth of images that have personal significance allows us to tap into the immense creative power of the subconscious mind. The human brain has been compared to an iceberg. Only 10% of an iceberg is visible above the water's surface. Much like the 90% of the iceberg hidden below the surface, 90% of our brain power lies beneath our conscious mind, making up the subconscious. So true, bestie. Psychology teaches us that symbolic language creates a bridge between consciousness and subconscious mind, dramatically enhancing creativity and imagination. That's why therapy is so important. Anyway, our imagination allows us to work with images and symbols, infusing them with deeper associations. For example, a heart carved in a tree is a symbol that immediately links the viewer to the vibrancy of young love. This is just one example of how symbols effectively connect us to our deeper selves. Child of the Moon taps into the power of nature's symbology, exercising a child's ability to access the wealth of his or her subconscious mind. It affords the adult an opportunity to talk with the child about certain nature symbols and to affirm the deeper values and beliefs these symbols represent. Animals companion children throughout this book, providing symbolic guidance. These animals are symbols for the strengths they model. Discuss with your child the characteristics of each animal found in the glossary of animal symbols, which we've been doing, exploring ways these strengths may be emulated. Additional in-depth symbolic explanations are offered in these notes from the authors. The shared reading of this book and the ensuing dialogue can become a vital storytelling ritual. This cycle of reading and discussion can deepen throughout a child's psychological development. Together, adults and children can explore concepts, values, life patches, and experiences that make life rich with meaning. Something that really comes to mind when I just read what we read in this book is solar punk. It's one of my favorite genres, even though I barely read anything about it. But solar punk architecture is pretty much just a sustainable, kind of indigenous-like community. But yeah, if you look up solar punk books, solar punk games, it's very cozy. It's very like a blend of future technology with nature. And that's how I think the world will go if we all stand up, because we don't want cyberpunk. We don't want the crypto-fascism. Anyway, we have a few more. Oh wow, there's a lot more. This is going to be a long one, but we're going to read every word. Foxes are said to possess the wisdom of the wind. They can camouflage themselves, melding into their surroundings to avoid being seen, yet are able to weave through any location and situation. American Indians call this magic shape-shifting. Foxes teach us to use our cleverness and wisdom to capture what we need in life. So that's what the fox says. Fish spend all of their time in the water, symbolically connecting them to the fluid inner realm of emotion, intuition, and creativity. With their great fertility, fish symbolize the abundant creative potential of the inner life. Squirrel. Squirrels symbolize the balance between work and play. They are social animals, wrestling, chattering, and chasing one another in lighthearted fun. But squirrels also spend time gathering nuts in preparation for winter. Squirrels can teach us how to prepare ahead, doing the work necessary to reach our goals, yet always find a balance between work and play. Duck. Ducks are common community-oriented, returning to the waters they are familiar with and find safety in. They teach us to find strength in our own intimate circles. With feathers that quickly repel water, ducks remind us to keep things in perspective, to let problems roll off our backs. Moose. Moose are unlikely models of grace, despite their tremendous size. Hi, Pepper. Despite their tremendous size, they can move silently and swiftly through great depths of snow and water with both agility and ease. The magic of the moose teaches us how to be comfortable in our own bodies, expanding the limits of what is physically possible. Bat. Bats have long been associated with fear because of their black, dragon-like wings. Welcoming bats is symbolically associated with facing our fears for the sake of transformation, like Batman. That's exactly what Batman does. What's the quote? I'm afraid of bats, and I want my criminals or enemies to feel that same fear. Deer are known for their gentle, caring nature. They nurture and protect their young for a long period of time, nursing them often. It is by graceful leaps and quick steps that deer escape danger. With eyes full of the graceful power of love, we too can escape danger. Owl. The animal symbol most linked to the power of shadow work is the owl, and intelligence. I may or may not go to a college that has an owl as a mascot. Owls have incredible night vision with pupils that respond instantaneously to minute light changes. Owls teach us not to fear darkness, but rather to courageously look with the light of consciousness into our shadow, transforming the darkness into wisdom that will nourish our lives. Child of the moon. Throughout time, the moon has remained symbolically significant. Its waxing and waning offers a cosmic image of the earthly cycles of growth and decline, death and rebirth. To be a child of the moon, one must embrace the rhythms of life. Since the moon gets its light indirectly reflecting the sun, it has been symbolically connected to the inner life of reflection. This inner life, the place of intuition, emotion, memory, creativity, wisdom, dreams, and the subconscious mind, is illuminated by the light of consciousness. A child of the moon values feelings, dreams, and memories, moving gracefully with the rhythms of the inner life. Consider talking with your child about dreams, those that occurred both night and day. During night dreams, the subconscious mind yields images that, when consciously explored, may impart valuable meaning. It is through daydreams that we become versed into who we are, what we long for, and ultimately what kind of life we intend to create. I always daydream. It kind of gets me in trouble because I forget to clean or do stuff because I'm just thinking of, my plans for the future and the world I want to help create. It is through daydreams that we become versed in who we are, what we long for, and ultimately what kind of life we intend to create. As children get older and have the capacity for abstract thought, the well-exercised process of honoring dreams and making connections with the images that the subconscious mind reveals would take on deeper significance, nurturing a self-understanding that is essential in the process of emotional maturing. A child of the moon understands and values the power of genuine presence. The presence of the moon in the night sky becomes a symbol for light and darkness. As the moon is our companion through the night hours, lighting the blackened sky, so too, the gift of our presence can be light and darkness for others. Child of the moon encourages children and adults to take the inner journey. We learn from the main character that the circle of life provides the light needed along the way. Right, Pepper? Child of the sun. The sun has long been honored, even worshipped by some cultures, and is the symbol for energy, the life force of creation. The sun is the most brilliant of celestial bodies and is depicted in iconography as the very heart of the cosmos. As a source of heat, the sun represents vitality and fertility, but also the potential for devastation and drought. A contradictory symbol, the sun embodies the destructive and the regenerative forces of creation energy. Creation energy is the transforming energy of change. To be a child of the sun, one must understand that change is a natural part of life. The life force and change go hand in hand. The process of conversion teaches us that life's dying and disappointments can be opportunities for rebirth. With the sun comes shadows. Unfortunately, our shadow side is often associated with the negative, even dangerous part of our humanity. Kind of like Peter Pan, if you've ever read that. Pepper? Pepper, come here. Good girl, come on. Good girl, Pepper. Come here. Probably shouldn't say good girl until she actually comes. But the shadow as symbol is merely what we keep hidden, the side of the psyche that holds our biases, doubts, and fears. Kind of like if you've played Persona. It is also in the shadow that potential lies dormant. Or if you're talking to an alien and there's a lot of unknown, if you meet an alien in a forest, that's kind of like, sort of like the same idea as a shadow. You know, an alien is just extraterrestrial, we don't know, unidentified flying object. Anyway, everything's connected if you slow down and think about the connections. Oh yeah, this song is called I Met an Alien in the Forest. So, yeah. Still Ariel Corrine, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ariel, I don't know. But the shadow as symbol is merely what we keep hidden, the side of the psyche that holds our biases, doubts, and fears. There's also in the shadow that potential lies dormant. The shadow side is not to be ignored. Acknowledging our dark side can lead us into the light of understanding. To dance in the shadows is to address our own weakness and allow the birthing of our full potential. Considered by early cultures to be the heart of the universe, the sun is symbolically linked to the human heart, the place believed to be the center of the body and the source of love. The fullness of life is not experienced without the immense gift of love. To be a child of the sun is to hold love as the highest value, for it is the wellspring from which the life force flows. It is the light in which Pepper, hush. Pepper, it's okay. There's some neighbors playing and she wants to say hi. To be a child of the sun is to hold life as the highest value, for it is the wellspring from which the life force flows. It is the light in which one learns to plant, nurture, and harvest one's own garden of potential. A child comes to know the value of love through the experience of being loved. So there are the pictures. We got a few more animals to go through. Then we'll read the author's bio. But I'm going to tend to the fire again. And you guys are going to watch. Or you're going to click away from the video. Whichever you decide. I don't want to... So the fire's so hot, so I don't want to get the dead stuff on the ground quite yet, because there's still some embers in them. What I'm doing right now is building a foundation, but near the top, because heat rises. And then once I'm done, I'm going to throw just a bunch of tinder into it, pepper. And then you'll probably see poof. Kind of amazing if you think about it, how man harnessed the power of fire. You've read the book Sapiens, The Story of Us. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest. They somehow manage to go through all of human history in like 400 pages or something. But it inspired me to make this channel. Because, like, Oh, here we go. I don't even need the tinder right now. You need some fuel. I think that's actually just what it's called, fuel. Ah. Alright. Want to see a fireball? Yeah. I'm gonna get this one. Well, I don't think we need tinder yet. Alright. So this song's about love. This book's about love. It's all connected. Most cultures symbolically link butterflies to transformation and the energy of creation. From caterpillar to chrysalis to flying insect, butterflies are a model of metamorphosis. In their evolved forms, they dance on the flowers, able to taste the sweet nectar through receptors in their front feet. Butterflies remind us that through transformation we can experience the sweetness of life. Eagle. American Indians believe that eagles are messengers from above, embodying the spirit of the sun and connecting heaven and earth. Baby eagles learn to fly by riding on their parents' backs. Young birds are then dropped and, in midair, safely caught again. This cycle is repeated until the baby eagles can fly on their own. Eagles teach us to soar and reach for new heights. That's why our America's symbol is the eagle, because the colonists reach new heights towards independence. Dragonflies are powerful animal symbols connected to the sun. They have learned the magic of dancing with the light. Like a rainbow, structures in dragonflies' bodies reflect lights, giving them their iridescence. Oh my gosh. Dragonflies remind us to dance with our own light, allowing our beauty to shine. Last summer, I was working in missions at my college, and I remember walking through the forest and seeing a bunch of dragonflies just lighting up in the night. Turtle. American Indians see turtles as reminders that Mother Earth provides for all our needs. Hatching from eggs buried in the sand, the young turtles are left to fend for themselves. Mother Earth is their sole caregiver as they make their way to the waters. We learn from turtles that all we need is available to us. We are reminded to care for Mother Earth as she cares for us. Spider. The spider is a feminine symbol associated with the weaving of human destiny. Spiders remind us that we are the authors of our own story, spinning it like a web with our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Destiny, the unfolding of our story, always involves choice. It is by choice that we invest in our truest self or remain unfulfilled. You can't choose to be happy, but you can choose to try. And if you choose to try, and you start to appreciate the little things and practice gratitude, and I might sound hippy-dippy, but this is all rooted in psychological and even just biological research. Like, it's just releasing the good neurochemicals. Anyway, frog. American Indians believe that the croaking of frogs could summon the thunder beings to send down the rains to cleanse and renew the land. Frogs are night singers, teaching us to sing our own stories in order to bring healing and renewal to ourselves as well as those around us. Bee. Bees are able to carry 300 times their own weight, defying laws of aerodynamics in their flight. That's the intro to the Bee movie. Bees symbolize the strength of the human spirit to carry a heavy burden and still flourish. Child of the Earth. A child of the Earth understands that all of creation is blessed. It is Mother Earth who holds all things in a sacred circle of life. Personified in mythology as Gaia, Mother Goddess, the Earth is traditionally viewed as the womb of life. It is from the earth that all life is born, and to the earth that all life returns. Like the caterpillar going through the stages of metamorphosis to become a butterfly, so all of life is caught up in a constant and miraculous course of transformation. In this story of life, the earth is a symbol of fertility and sustenance. The fecundity, I think that word means fertility, so ability to give life, of the earth teaches children to accept the responsibility of making bountiful gardens of their own lives. Each child represents a fertile field ripe with promise. A child of the earth is one who honors his or her instincts and natural talents, transforming potential into ability, weakness into opportunity, and dreams into reality. Earth is the element most associated with the gift of self-understanding. True to its own nature, a mouse does not try to fly and hunt like an owl. This is the wisdom of the natural world. A child of the earth accepts personal responsibility for being true to self. Child of the moon, like the book, teaches children and adults that no one can fulfill the purpose of another. Each life has a specific calling, a unique reason it was dreamed into being. So if you were here for a short story yesterday, The Egg, that's exactly what it was talking about. Every single person is just a version of you, which every religion teaches. It's just sometimes people forget that, or they think that there's an exception to that. And they have their reasons, but deep down, they know it's not true. And that's why they exercise their demons through violence. I think when my parents came home, because Pepper really wants to go in. So I'll be wrapping up soon. We are companions for one another and for our children on this journey of life. We can best offer the wisdom of creation by our living example, embodying the symbolic gifts of the moon, the sun, and the earth. As we share these gifts with our children, we do so freely, for they must create their own paths of understanding and self-expression. May we listen well as they sing their unique songs, JC. And we're almost done. We just need to read about the author. And so the author is Jeanne Cotter. With formal education and training in both music and spirituality, Jeanne is the founder of Mythic Grain, an independent record label and production company. I'll have to look into them. In addition to a prolific career as a performer and recording artist, she is a nationally known inspirational speaker, offering seminars and retreats on creativity, spirituality, storytelling, and she lives in St. Paul, Minnesota. That's kind of where I live. Krisa holds a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from the Minneapolis College of Art and Design. During her studies, she participated in a study abroad program through Byrne College of Art in Ballyvaughan, Ireland. That's Krisa Aldo. So we learned a lot through this story. Wow, it's almost been 40 minutes. Thank you if you watched till the end. Bye-bye and stay cozy.